Hey, this is Sister Nayyirah, located right here in the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. I am so excited today because I am going to tell you my unbreakable story. Now, as I tell you this story, I want you to keep in mind this quote that I love. Pressure makes diamonds. I was born the eldest of 5 children. My mother's name is Ernestine Brown, and my father is the late Lee Henry Green. And being the eldest of 5 children, I was born in the role of being a leader. And with that being said, I've always had the ability to take on responsibility to be able to lead the family. Now, one of the most exciting things that I recall as a young child is my father being the type of man that he was, making a way out of no way. He found pleasure in giving me the gifts of love in the simple things. My father was a father that will pick an orange off the tree and give me an orange. And out of that orange, I was able to make orange juice. He gave that orange with so much love and so much care that as a child, that orange meant millions and millions of dollars to me. The principle of it is that when he gave from the fruit of the Spirit. And that is one of the most precious things that I can recall as a young child growing up in a household with my father. As you know, I started this out with my father because I am a daddy's girl. Nevertheless, I love my mother as well. My mother is a mother that shows so much care and compassion when it comes to keeping the family unit together. Now, though I was born to 2 young parents, my mother was 17 and my father was roughly about 20 years old, in which I now understand why so many things that happened in my life that I didn't understand before, I understand the why now. You see, being that my mother and father was very young when they had me, not having proper employment, not having guidance to the degree that they needed guidance to be parents over myself and later on to have a total of 6 children, I understand how they lived their life as far as, you know, I grew up in a unprivileged type household where my mother and my father, they, you know, just straight talk, they was gamblers, they was hustlers. They had to, you know, just do things that they had to do to survive for us. And which put me in conditions in my life where I seen abuse growing up in the home. Though my dad loved us very, 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 very much, he was hooked on alcohol and he also was hooked on prescription medication and drugs, which led to behavior patterns of beating my mom. And as a result, I felt like because my mother was beat, that she would beat me. And that is how I felt as far as the story is concerned. But here's the thing. Growing up under extreme difficulties, watching things that happened in my life as it transpired, it built me a certain type of way. It built me to have the fortitude to continue to go on in spite of any condition in my life. It built me to understand the power and the importance of family, of having a mother and a father in the household. It built me to understand that regardless of what, wherever there's a will, there's a way. And though my parents was hustlers, and though my parents had to do the things that they did, and they was a victim of their circumstances, the one thing that I know, out of love and compassion, they made a way for us. But that led me on a journey. It led me on a journey of self-sabotaging behaviors. It led me on a journey of self-destruction. It led me on a journey of limiting beliefs. It led me on a journey of being indecisive. But God, I thank God for allowing me to go through circumstances that now, as I sit before you in the presence of right now, I know that because of what I went through, my makeup, I'm unbreakable. You see, the first time that I really felt like I was broken in life, being a daddy's girl, is when my mother and father separated and they got a divorce. That broke me in my spirit of living in a household, though I came up through conditions that most people probably would never, but I missed the love being in the house, of waking up and hearing my father's voice every single day. I missed going out in the backyard and having a garden there. I missed my mother cooking dinner for us as a family, for the times, the very brief moments that we had family time. I missed that. So what did that build in me? It built in me starvation and craving to have a family. And so as my father was no longer in the house, and I would have silent cries of wanting my mother and my father back together, I would look at the children in my neighborhood, and I would look at how they was able to go into their house and they had their mother and their father. But me, I had to be responsible for my brothers and sisters. I was put under undue stress and strain because my mother was now a single mother raising 5 children. And being that I was the oldest, she put responsibilities on me that as a young child I wasn't ready for. But it built me for who I am today. And so as a result of that, of having my heart broken, of not having my father in the house, it made me to do things that now I know I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And so I went on a path of self-destruction, but I thank God that the path that I went on led me to the path that I am on now, as now I'm an advocate. I'm a strong, passionate, powerful advocate for having the family intact. But it was because of circumstances that molded and shaped the love and the compassion to see a strong family. I understand that we all have been broken in some form or some fashion. But when you understand that, you know what? I really wasn't broken. It was the condition of brokenness. But me, personally, I have never been broken. It was the condition that was broken and not me. So my first love being taken out of the household led me to desiring to build the family. And so I stand before you today to say that, yes, I've gone through some things in my life. Yes, my sisters and brothers have gone through some things in our life. I remember one time I wanted my father so bad that I ran away from home. And when I ran away from home and I went to my father's house, and my mother came with the police, and the police told me I had to go back, I remember crying out and asking God to give me back my family. But what I didn't know at the age, I was 13 years old. What I didn't know at that time, that not only would he give me a family, that he would make me as one to love family. So I had to go through that to be a champion and an advocate for family. And so what makes me unbreakable? What makes my story unbreakable? Because there was trials and tribulations that I've gone through, hurdles that I've had to go through. But every time I went through it, I now understand that it was built for character. I now understand that it was built for me to be able to handle the struggle. I now understand that it helped me to develop courage. Because I once heard Maya Angelou say that out of all of the virtues that we must master, we should strive to master courage. Because if you can master courage, then you can master all of the other virtues. And it's going to take courage to master the other virtues. So what makes me unbreakable is because I am mastering courage. I'm mastering the ability to confront and face things in my life and knowing and without a shadow of a doubt in my spirit that I'm unbreakable, but not just for me, but for those who I have been commissioned to serve, to go out into the world and spread hope, inspiration, compassion, impact, and saying this: if I can do it, you can do it too. If I'm unbreakable, you're unbreakable also. But you got to go through something. And you got to be willing to change your mind. I was able to change my mind, not about the problem, but how I viewed the problem. I was able to come to the understanding that what don't break me shall make me stronger. And so I decided to lean into strength versus weakness. But I had to go through something. I had to be able to understand what it feels like not to have a father in the home, to understand what it feels like to go through divorce, to understand what it feels like to lose loved ones. But knowing that every single trial and tribulations that you go through is all ordained for the victory and the glory of transformation. So now I have become a transformational life coach and speaker. But I speak from the heart. I speak from experience. I speak from victim to victorious. I give hope and inspiration and impact to say, listen, this too shall pass. You might be in a broken situation, but you're not broken. You may be in a condition that looks like everything is not going to be okay, but you're okay. And it's all about mindset. So as a transformational life coach shaped and molded by life and life experience, the loss of my very first love of my father, even to this day, he's not with me. But that love that he instilled in me and that love that my mother instilled in me has now made me the face and a voice to help do exactly what I'm doing, and that is to repair the Black family, which I know is a humanitarian work. I understand that if you repair the Black family, you repair humanity. Because why? The family structure is so important that when you look at love and patience and kindness and, all fearlessness and courage, all of that comes from the space of feeling whole. And so I stand before you today with this very message to say this, that wherever there's family, there is love. Wherever there's family, there is love. And the only way we can have family is it starts with you. Somebody got to be willing to stand up and represent love for self, love for others, and no matter wherever you are on the planet, we now become family. One mind, one heart, one signature, and that signature is love. My name is Sister Nayyirah. I am a transformational life coach located out of the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. Thank you for listening to my unbreakable story.